Beautiful day in every way. Woo! Love being out here by the ocean. It's been a while since I walk here by the ocean and go live. I mean, I walk by the ocean all the time. Haven't gone live in a while. I figured I'll start going live, sharing some insight again. I'll wait a little bit because give some time for anybody who's going to join me to come on. This was like a surprise attack, surprise visit. Didn't make any type of announcement, just decided to go live. Beautiful. For those of you who are going to join me, post your comments, let me know where you're at, where you're from. Love to hear from you. I'll give it a few before I get into what I want to share with you today. It's beautiful out here. Some people were asking me, like, when are you going to go live again? When are you going to walk on the beach? We missed that. So, for those of you who are asking, here I am. Back out on the beach. Well, I'm always on the beach, but coming to you live, giving you a sharing some insight. So, what I want to share, I was talking with someone earlier, they were talking about how they don't have attitude. I was asking about what was new in their lives, what was going on, and they had talked about it maybe being a slow process, and I said, well, with that attitude, so they had responded, I don't have attitude. But then I responded, we always have attitude. And so that's the big thing. It made me realize that probably a lot of people don't understand attitude. It's not really broken down and talked about in a way where we can appreciate and grasp what attitude is. So attitude, of course, is a combination of three things: your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. So when we say, I don't have attitude, or I'm not giving you attitude, yeah, you always are. You're always giving out attitude. You're always thinking and feeling and acting, right? So those thoughts, those feelings, those actions are producing the results that you're experiencing in your life. So you want something to come to you quickly? Well, you have to have the right thinking, create the right feelings, put out the right energy, so that way you can get life to respond to you that way. If you think about what you want in your life rather than thinking about what you don't want, that's the key. It's like keeping your mind focused on what you want. So I have attitude. I have personality. You have personality. We all have personality. Every single one of us, right? And so even that, what is personality? It's a combination of our conscious, subconscious, and physical body. This is what makes up our personality. And so consciously we think, subconsciously we feel, the body takes action. So it's the consciousness. The consciousness is everything. Consciousness is mind, mind is consciousness. So what we're thinking about, we bring about. So think about that next time you're thinking about, like, well, I don't have attitude, or I'm not giving attitude. Yeah, you are. You are giving out an attitude. You are putting out an energy. And so this is why, like, I talk to people, well, it's even like my shirt that I'm wearing right now. Interesting that I'm wearing this shirt today. I am a non-drifter. So to be a non-drifter, it just means that you're clear on what you want, why you want it, what that visually looks like. So you can take the right action steps to lead you to that end result that's going to bring you peace and happiness and fulfillment. And so it does take the right mental attitude. Hello. It takes the right mental attitude, a positive mental attitude. So when you're operating with a positive mental attitude, life rewards you. When you're operating with a negative mental attitude, life penalizes you. So I'm always thinking, you're always feeling, right? Think about that. Although when we go to sleep, we're not consciously aware at that point, right? But the subconscious part of the mind doesn't sleep, but I'm not getting into that in this live. But we think. When we're awake, we're consciously aware. We're thinking. And that thinking causes us to feel good, positive thoughts will create a good positive energy. Negative thoughts create negative energy. You get what I'm saying? So it's important that you realize my attitude is just a combination of my thoughts, my feelings, my actions. This is what's producing my results. And you want results in your life that bring you peace of mind, that bring you happiness and fulfill you, bring you significant joy. And so to do that, Mike, my boy Dave, I always know how to bring a laugh and a smile. So, when you're thinking throughout the day, you're always thinking, you're constantly aware you're thinking. These thoughts cause you to feel, right? So pay attention to the feelings that you're having. These feelings are being expressed through your physical body, through your actions, how you speak, your behavior. So if you're not happy with the results that you are experiencing in your life, it's 100% a reflection of your thinking. Over the last 6,000 years of recorded history, all the great philosophers, theologians, thinkers, scientists, they've all agreed upon one point, and that is we ultimately become what we think about. We ultimately become what we think about. So what are you thinking about all day long? So yeah, you do have attitude. Yes, you are giving attitude. The question becomes, are you giving a positive attitude towards your life? Or are you giving a negative attitude towards your life? And my boy Dave Doyle right there, who just wrote Michael, he's the PMA doctor right there. So if you want some positive mental attitude, follow him, because he definitely is sharing in that energy as well. And it's important. So it's every day I'm talking to new people, whether they're clients or non-clients, people I meet on the street. And I am paying attention to their results, because results is what matters in this game of life. Results in every area, spiritually, with your relationships, with your health, what you're doing financially, right? What you're doing professionally, all these different areas of your life, you want results. So really, the results are really dependent upon your attitude, right? Your thoughts, the feelings, the actions that you are in control over. So when someone says it is what it is, that's just what it is. It is just what it is. It is what it is. No. It is what you make it. It is what you're making it to be. It's not that's just the way it is. No. It is because you're thinking into that result. Every result, again, like I shared, is just a reflection of what's going on in that mind of yours. You're always giving out energy. So important. And I talk to people about, are you tuning into 107 point love, or are you listening and tuning into 92 point chaos? And then there's all these, frequency stations in between, right? And so you're deciding. You're choosing what you're tuning into. You're choosing what you're thinking about. Nobody can make you think anything without your permission. So I want you to realize this, that attitude, the quality of your life is the quality of your attitude. Attitude controls the quality of everything in your life. And so this is why it's important to write down what you want. Create your plans. Take responsibility for the results that you're getting in your life. I'm going to write down what my purpose is. What do I want? Why do I want it? I'm going to get clear on the vision, what that looks like in action, and I'm going to set goals that are aligned with that. And when I'm looking at that every day, I'm starting to build momentum. I'm starting to build momentum in my thinking, the proper thinking, accurate thinking. This is what keeps that negativity, that evil away, that opponent away, whatever you want to call it, by being accurate in your thought, by being positive in your mind, in your attitude. So that way you take responsibility and be the cause of your life. You can either be the cause of your life or you could be the effect of your life. You choose. Be an active participant in this world. You came into this world to be a co-creator, to tap into this energy, this spiritual energy, this goodness that's all giving, and be one with that. Think about, think. See, we're always talking about think about. What are you thinking about? So just attitude is always present. Who's on here with me? So we got Dave, we got Jacqueline. Anybody else? Anybody have any comments, any questions? Post any comments, any questions you have. I'd love to hear from you. But that's the main thing that I wanted to get across, because I was, again, just talking with someone earlier, and it happens all the time. So I figured this is a good opportunity for me to come on here as I'm walking, go live. I'm actually going to go back the other way now. But it's a good opportunity to share with you guys, really to grasp, be clear on what attitude is. So what is attitude? I'm sure you're all thinking about it right now. If you're just coming on, then you can go back and watch this replay. But attitude, what I was saying, is a combination of your thoughts and your feelings and your actions, all three of these things combined. That's what makes up your attitude. So it's always on. It's always working for you. Write down what you want and read it every day. That is one of the toughest things to do. You know, when I ask people to write out their plans, write out their purpose, what they want, why do they want it, you know, so they can start to become more clear. It's tough. You know, it's just like, it's simple to do the 5 push-ups every day, and it's also simple not to do the 5 push-ups every day. So it's simple to sit down for 5 minutes every day, write out your plans, exactly what you want, why you want it, and then read over it. You know, read over it in the morning when you first wake up, and if you feel you need to add more content to it, then add more content to it. Then go about your day. Then look at it again at nighttime before you go to bed. If you feel that you need to add more, content to it as you're looking at it before you go to bed, then add more content to it. And so what happens is you're starting to do repetition. So it's just like when you go into the physical gym, you're training, you're exercising, you're doing repetition to strengthen, condition the physical body. You're doing these mental reps. You know, when you sit down and you start writing out your plans, you go into the mind gym, the spiritual gym, the emotional gym. So as you continue to do mental, emotional, and spiritual repetition, well, then that's going to become flex, stretch, condition, so that way you can be able to perform at a higher level and truly produce the results that are going to make you happy. But most people won't do that. You know, nobody plans to fail, but people do fail to plan. And it's just like I was talking to a student athlete earlier today, that we were talking about that, about how he was talking about procrastination and just having discipline. And I was telling him, I think he's 13. Yeah, 13-year-old. And I was telling him, you're not planning to fail, right? He's like, no. I said, but you could be failing to plan. And when you fail to plan, then you are planning to. And then he said, fail. I said, yeah. I said, so, you're not a failure, obviously, unless you accept yourself as one. And you have to fail more often to be successful. But you need to start writing out your plans. Start reading it every day. This is what develops the right mental attitude, which is the main point of what I started talking about when I first came on here. It's about having the right mental attitude. How do I get, say, a dead crab lost its inside? I'm just holding the shell. It's interesting I grabbed this because we're going into the new moon of Cancer. We're going into the month of Cancer, July. My month, my birthday month. I'm a Cancerian. So anyway, so you see, like, even as simple as that, me picking up that little crab, me stopping for a moment, there's a lot of things in life that can distract you. You know, we live in a temptation island. We're tempted to do lots of things. And, you know, you're wanting to travel down this highway to Happy City to get results that, you know, are going to make you happy, etc., like that. Well, along the highway to Happy City, there's going to be all these exits that are going to try to take you off-roading. And if you're not clear, if you're not real and focused on exactly what you want, not what everybody else wants for you, but what do you want, then it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to go off-roading. It's easy to be taken in a direction that's totally far away from Happy City. It could take you into Unpleasantville or a negative town. So I see there's a question popped up here. Where is someone's bad attitude coming from? Negative thoughts? Yes. So if you think about it, we're being programmed, right? So from the moment we pop out of our mommy's womb, immediately we're being programmed with information. Mommy starts programming the baby with info. Daddy starts programming the baby with info. Grandma, grandpa, great-grandparents, if they're around, cousins, friends of the family. Then we start to have friends come over to the home and start to influence the baby. Then we start to go to, like, watch videos on TV. You know, Baby Einstein. I remember doing those baby... No, I didn't do those Baby Einstein movies. Those videos weren't around when I was a baby. But I remember doing that for my babies, for my 3 kids. And I'm sure a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. But we start to impress information into the minds, right, of the baby. And the baby's just absorbing all this information. And then we go to preschool, and then we go to grade school. We're meeting new friends. We get involved with, like, activities, sports, dance, or, you know, different types of clubs, whatever it might be. So we're constantly bombarded from outside information. That's programming. That's all programming. And so think about it like this. When you were being taught how to put on your shoes and tie them, there was a process, there was programming going on to build the right mental attitude for you to be able to take over at some point where it just became automatic and you didn't think about it anymore on how to put on your shoes and tie them. So the baby gets the little booties put on, right? The little baby shoes. And the baby starts to try to grab their feet, try to eat the shoes off of their foot, right? Because we like to put everything in their mouths. And as you get a little older, you know, mom, dad, you sit, you know, the kids down, or we get sat down, right, as kids, being taught how to put on the shoes. And maybe you do the Velcro at first. Then you start getting into the laces. You know, you scoop, you loop, you pull, or whatever your strategy was, whatever your parents' strategy was at that time. So these ideas, this programming is being impressed into the baby, into the mind. Over and over and over and over and over again, repetition after repetition. And the little kid, like, as mom tells, you know, the kid to sit down, let me put on your shoes, and, you know, he kicks him or she kicks him across the room, and she's like, come on over here, sit down, let me put those shoes on you. And it's like a battle. But you continue to just keep on keeping on till eventually, what does it take? 5, 6, 7 years before we start to put the shoes on and tie them all by ourselves, where it's just automatic. We're not thinking about how to put the shoes and tie them anymore. It's just automatic. And so think about that as far as what type of information are you allowing yourself to tune into. It's so important. what you're listening to, what you're reading, who you're hanging around with, just everything that you're involved in. Think about that. Like all the information that's been impressed on you your entire life. How much of it was positive? How much of it was negative? And so, growing up when you were little, we've always had the ability to reject information. But as a baby and as we're younger, we don't know how to reject certain things. So we accept a lot of info. Even the false information, the negative information. And that becomes our program. So we have these programs that are automatically running, which causes us to get off track. So it's habit. It's habit. We're in the habit of thinking negatively. We're in the habit of being, pessimistic or, being, just being negative, and not having faith, not having belief. So like take the shoes, for instance. I'll ask people about applied faith. You want to achieve these positive results in your life. And I'll say, what is applied faith? So applied just means to take action, right? And then what is faith? So if any of you want to take a crack at it and post in here in the stream what you think faith is, I'll give you a minute to tell me. If you want to take a crack at it, tell me what is faith. So when I talk about applied faith, very important, applied faith. What is applied faith? Anybody want to share with me what applied faith is? Applied faith, anyone? Going once? Going twice? 3 times a lady. All right, so applied faith. Applied means you're taking action, right? And then faith. So a lot of times people will tell me, well, it's a belief. And I'll tell them, or I'll ask them, I'll ask, so do you believe that you could put your shoes on and tie them? Or do you know you can? And obviously you know the answer. It's, you can. That's faith. Faith is knowing. It's beyond belief. I don't believe that I can put on my shoes and tie them. I know I can. I have faith that I can. So I take action faithfully, knowing, right? I take action faithfully, just knowing. I know that I know. And it's the same thing with like achieving any goals that you want to achieve in your life. So when you plant a seed in the pot of soil, that seed requires your attention. You need to water it, you need to nourish it. And then by law, right, it starts to gestate, it starts to incubate into this plant or this tree that comes out. And then we start to bear the fruits, right? So when you start to water and nourish the seed, you start to water and nourish this idea, it is going to take the right mental attitude. You're going to have to keep your mind focused on doing the right and necessary things to that seed for it to grow and come to life. But a lot of times we get distracted, right? And we get taken off an exit into negative town. Think about all the negativity that's being passed down in the world so easy access. You got media, social media, regular media, right? The news, just broadcasting all kinds of negativity. What if we were to start broadcasting positivity, like finding all of the amazing stories that are happening in the world? Start just reporting on all of the good, amazing stories that are happening in the world, and we start to shift the energy of the world instead of focusing so much on this negativity. So how do you start to improve the quality of your thinking? That comes with the planning. So you have to write out your plans. And again, when you first start to do this exercise, it may be very difficult to do because your current conditioning, what you currently know, right? What you currently have faith in beyond the belief is, this is too difficult, or it's taking too much time, or it just makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what I really want. I mean, I know I want to be happy. I know I want to make money. I know I want to be in a good, loving relationship. I know I want to have, great relationships with my kids and friends and family and people I work with. And like, I know I want to make a difference in the world, although some people don't even think about that. So you may know and understand some of these things, but you're not grasping. To grasp is to cleave, is to truly be clear about it. Like you just know. And so it makes it difficult to sit and write out and work on your plans every day, let alone do that with a team of people. Do that with your family. Do that with the people that you work with. And when I go in and I work with companies, majority of the companies are, what a mess. I mean, yeah, you could be making lots of money and you could be doing, big business. But man, what a lack of leadership in organizations and so much chaos going on within organizations, not even producing the results that ultimately you could be producing if you knew how to lead. If everybody started to learn how to lead themselves and be a positive influence towards other people with positive thinking, then we can start to create harmony within an organization and helping people get on purpose and understand, like, why are you here? What does that look like? What are your goals? And is it in harmony with the team's goals, with the team's purpose? Same thing with the family and relationships. So for those of you who are on here in the beginning, when I started to talk about attitude, so I was talking with somebody else earlier, which I mentioned when I first started talking on here, that I was talking with someone and they just made a comment like, I'm not giving attitude. Because I said, well, with that attitude, because they were talking about something happening slowly in their life. And I said, well, with that attitude, I said, well, I don't have attitude. And that's what led me to have this conversation with you, is attitude. Yes, you do have attitude. Attitude is a part of everything. Everything I've been discussing, everything I've been sharing over this time that I've been on here, it's all a reflection of attitude. All these results that you're experiencing in your life, it's 100% a reflection of your attitude. You get that? Anybody have any questions for me? Any comments? Love to hear from you. Let me know where you're at, where you're coming in from around the world. Love to hear from you. What a beautiful, beautiful evening. It's a beautiful night. Usually they have the tractor that comes through the morning and cleans all this stuff out. Cleans all these weeds and the seaweed and stuff out, so the beach is like nice and clean. But maybe they didn't get around to doing it this morning. But still gorgeous, still beautiful. What a beautiful day. I hope that you'll take from this how important attitude is. How important it is for you to be consciously aware of what you're thinking about all day long. This is why you write out plans. This is why you look at it every day. And I do this firsthand experience. I do this. And I have people that I work with who do this. So I know it works because I do it and other people do it. But sometimes we do get sidetracked, okay? Me included. Sometimes I do drift because it's not possible, really, to stay on the line of success 100% of the time. So you have this arrow, this line that you want to stay on to achieve all of your goals. You have a definiteness of purpose, goals that you definitely want to achieve. And so you're trying to stay on this line, this straight line, this straight arrow to those goals. Okay, but success isn't that. You're going to start going on this line and along this highway to Happy City, right? Where you get to your goals, that's Happy City. So I'm on this highway going up to Happy City, but along the way there's going to be an exit. Somebody's going to say, hey, Mike, come check this out. Or come over here. Or I'm going to know to pick up on something and notice something. That can totally take me off track. That can cause me to drift off my line of success, off where I definitely want to go. So as you start to drift, you have to be able to get right back to the line. You drift, get back to the line. So it's a constant weaving in and out, keeping your focus on exactly the results that you want. And that is a challenge because, listen, you're going to have people, situations, things that come into your life that are really going to be challenging because you're going to be attracted to it, or whatever it is, a person, place, thing, right? You're going to be attracted, and it's going to cause you to put attention on. Let's see what this looks like. It might be this might be the Coast Guard coming. U.S. Coast Guard chopper. I love seeing that because it reminds me of, like, they're out there to rescue people, right? So another lesson I learned a while ago is think about that rescue helicopter. So the rescue helicopter, when it goes out to sea to rescue, let's say there's a boat or a ship that's sinking or there's trouble, right? It could be on fire, it could be a number of different things. And when the rescue chopper goes out, and let's just say there's like 15, 20 people in the water, they already know that they're not going to rescue all of the people that are in the water. They already know this. The swimmer knows this when he's getting into the water. So how do they know who to rescue? So it's very interesting. A mentor of mine that I learned this from many years ago. So the swimmer, when he gets in the water, he's going to rescue the ones that swim to him, the ones that come to him. He's not chasing anybody when he gets in the water. He's going to get in the water and, like, he's going to start swimming towards the people in the water, and, like, the people that start coming to him, he's going to put him in the basket, thumbs up. They take him up, and he's going to try to get as many people up as he can that they can take, right? That they can rescue. And so it's the same thing with some of you, like, out there chasing around, chasing people, chasing opportunities, chasing. And it's not about chasing. It's about being patient, about being calm, being tolerant through this game of life, and rescue the ones that swim to you. Connect with the ones that swim to you. That's a much deeper lesson that I can go into at another time, but that was pretty cool when I saw the helicopter because it reminded me of that. What else? Anybody have any questions for me while I'm on here? Sun is starting to set. So I'm going to come off of here pretty soon. But again, main thing that I wanted to get across to you today is you do have attitude. We all do. We're always putting out attitude. We're always expressing our attitude. Whether it's positive or negative is your choice. Again, you're choosing how you think. You're choosing the feelings that you're having. Those feelings, happy, sad, glad, any feeling, any emotion that you are experiencing is a reflection of the thinking that you're doing. And sure, you can play the blame game. You know, I feel this way because of her or because of him. Look what you made me do. And if this thing would just be the way I want it to be, you can play the blame game. Most of us do. You play the blame game. So as long as you continue to play the blame game, then you'll continue to experience the chaos, the suffering, the pain. You want peace, you want happiness, you want fulfillment in your life, then you need to start taking personal responsibility for your thinking. When you have negative thoughts start to surface, start to come up, or start to come at you from outside resources, you must be strong enough to reject those thoughts and keep your mind focused on what you want. Like, I just did an intensive just last week, a 5-day intensive with a client, just going over so much stuff. It was very deep, very intense. And then even after that, we were just talking earlier today, and I still had to remind to keep your mind focused on what you want. Because it's easy to get sidetracked. It's easy to drift. It's easy to get away from what you want. There's so much temptation in this world. And listen, if you want to keep your dreams alive, you have to keep your dream alive. Nobody's gonna build your dream for you. You can recruit. You can inspire, empower, right? Others to want to follow, want to engage, want to contribute to your dream, contribute to your success. Yes, that's what we do. You know, to be successful, you're going to have to take people with you. You're not going to become successful by yourself. It doesn't work that way. We're not receiving this information. We're not receiving the resources. We're not receiving the opportunities. We're not receiving all of this that we receive in this life of ours, all for ourselves. It's not for you to keep it for yourself. It's for you to share. So whenever you get information, it's like even when I share with my clients when I'm talking to them, I'm teaching them certain, philosophies and methods. I'll ask them, as a mentor, because I believe there's a human performance mentor in every one of you, in every one of us. you're a mentor. What is a mentor? If you think about it, a mentor is a leader, right? A guide. You're guiding humans to perform. So you're either being a mentor that's positively impacting people to perform positively, to produce remarkable results in their life, or you're leading people negatively to crash and burn, right? It's a choice. It's a choice. You choose who you want to be. You choose who you want to be. You have to keep your mind focused on what you want and stop playing the blame game. So powerful. Very powerful. You can create anything that you want. It's your choosing. What else? Any questions, any comments before I shut this down? Focus on your attitude. Focusing on developing your attitude. If you want, I just thought about it. If you want a free video series that I created it back in 2014, but it's timeless information. I'm happy to share. Just DM me. Send me a direct message. Send me a direct message, and I will receive it. And just text me, hey, send me the free video series, and I'll text you the link, and you can get access to it. It'll start to actually teach you how to establish purpose, build vision, set goals. If you want it. Happy to share it. Any other questions? Any comments? I would if I wasn't live, but it's probably around 7:30ish, I guess. I'm not sure what time it is. It's now. That's what time it is. It's right now, here and now. So, if there's no more questions, and if you're watching this on the replay, post your comments, post your questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you for coming on here and sharing your time with me. And I'll also be starting to post some videos on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to start posting videos on there. I don't remember what the YouTube channel is. But as soon as I have the link, I'll start creating videos and I'll post them. So that way you can go, and if you want, you can subscribe and click on the notification so you get notified when I start to add more YouTube videos. I'll start putting out like these, 5 to 10 minutes, no more than that, videos teaching on different concepts. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anybody have any last minute questions, comments before I sign off? Again, main purpose of me sharing today was just, you do have attitude. And attitude is controlling the quality of everything in your life. And you are going to be challenged. You are definitely going to be challenged to get off track, because there's a lot of people, a lot of things out there that are going to be believable, that are going to be attractive, that are going to be intriguing, right? That are going to be capturing your attention. And you got to be careful. And it takes time. It takes time to figure out whether or not you're on an exit that's going to actually turn up and run parallel with the road the highway, that you're going to Happy City, or is it a road that's taking you in a totally different direction? So sometimes that takes time to figure that out, So do the best you can at preparing and planning, proper planning, that's the key. Properly plan every single day. Read over your plans every single day. Keep your mind focused on what you want every single day. Speak it out loud every single day. So happy and grateful that I get to come on here and share with you. I love it. Love you all. Have a peaceful night. Have an amazing week. Next time I see you, enjoy.